The American retail landscape is littered with the tombstones of fallen giants. Once proud names, now relegated to the history books. The latest casualty in this ongoing saga? Big Lots. A name synonymous with bargain hunting, now facing the harsh reality of bankruptcy. It's a stark reminder that even the most established players are not immune to the relentless forces reshaping the retail industry. Big Lots' downfall is a story of changing consumer habits, fierce competition, and perhaps a failure to adapt quickly enough. It's a story that, unfortunately, is becoming all too familiar in the boardrooms of America. As we delve into the demise of this retail giant, we're forced to ask a chilling question. Who's next? Big Lots wasn't always on the brink. It wasn't always a cautionary tale. Founded in 1967, the company rose to prominence as a discount retail haven, a place where shoppers could find incredible deals on everything from furniture to groceries. Its warehouses turned stores became a familiar sight in strip malls across America, a testament to its success. The company's business model was deceptively simple. Buy closeouts, overstocks, and surplus merchandise at deep discounts, then pass those savings on to the customer. It was a formula that resonated with value-conscious shoppers, particularly in times of economic uncertainty. For decades, Big Lots thrived, expanding its footprint and cementing its place in the retail landscape. But the retail world is rarely static. What worked in the 20th century doesn't necessarily translate to success in the 21st. The rise of e-commerce, the changing expectations of consumers, and the emergence of new competitors all conspired to erode Big Lots' once dominant position. The company that once seemed invincible, a fixture in the American retail landscape, found itself struggling to keep pace. The cracks were starting to show, and the once unthinkable, bankruptcy, began to loom as a very real possibility. To understand Big Lots' fate, we must first understand the changing nature of retail itself. The digital revolution has fundamentally altered the way we shop. E-commerce giants like Amazon have redefined convenience, offering a seemingly endless selection of goods at the click of a button. Consumers, empowered by technology, are demanding more. They expect personalized experiences, seamless online to offline integration, and instant gratification. The traditional brick-and-mortar model, once the only game in town, is facing an existential crisis. The numbers tell a stark story. Foot traffic in malls and shopping centers has plummeted. Consumers are increasingly opting for the convenience and variety offered by online retailers. The rise of mobile shopping has further exacerbated this trend, allowing consumers to make purchases anytime, anywhere. This shift in consumer behavior has created a perfect storm for traditional retailers like Big Lots. The old playbook, reliant on physical stores and a steady stream of foot traffic, is no longer enough. To survive in this new landscape, retailers need to adapt, and they need to adapt quickly. Big Lots' bankruptcy is not an isolated incident. It's a symptom of a larger trend sweeping through the American retail sector, a trend marked by store closures, job losses, and a growing sense of uncertainty. The demise of this discount giant sends shockwaves through the industry, raising questions about the viability of traditional retail models. The implications extend far beyond the walls of Big Lots stores. The company's bankruptcy impacts its employees, its suppliers, and the communities it serves. It's a stark reminder of the interconnected nature of our economy and the ripple effects that occur when a major player falters. The retail sector is a major employer in the United States, supporting millions of jobs. As more and more traditional retailers struggle to adapt to the changing market, the potential for widespread job losses becomes a very real concern. This, in turn, could have a significant impact on consumer spending and the overall economy. Big Lots' bankruptcy serves as a wake-up call, not just for the retail industry, but for the entire American economy. It underscores the need for businesses to embrace innovation, adapt to changing consumer behaviors, and find new ways to compete in an increasingly digital world. Section 5. The writing on the wall, signs of distress. Big Lots' downfall wasn't a sudden collapse. It was a slow, agonizing decline, marked by missed opportunities and a failure to adapt quickly enough. The writing was on the wall for those who knew where to look. Declining sales, store closures, and a shrinking market share were all telltale signs that the company was in trouble. In the years leading up to its bankruptcy filing, Big Lots faced mounting challenges. The rise of e-commerce giants like Amazon ate into its market share, while changing consumer preferences left its bargain basement model struggling to compete. The company's attempts to adapt, including online initiatives and store renovations, proved too little, too late. Financial statements, often overlooked by the casual observer, painted a grim picture. Declining profits, mounting debt, and negative cash flow all pointed to a company in dire straits. These red flags, ignored or dismissed by some, were blaring sirens for those who understood their significance. The signs of distress were there, but recognizing them required a deeper understanding of the forces shaping the retail landscape. It required looking beyond the surface and delving into the financial realities of the business. Section 6. A time of reckoning. Who's next? Big Lots bankruptcy begs a sobering question. Who's next? The retail landscape is littered with companies facing similar challenges. Changing consumer habits, fierce competition, and the relentless rise of e-commerce have created a perfect storm for traditional retailers. The companies most at risk are those slow to adapt, those clinging to outdated business models. They're the ones who fail to embrace the digital revolution, who underestimate the power of the online experience. They're the ones who view e-commerce as a threat rather than an opportunity. The contrast is stark. While e-commerce giants like Amazon invest heavily in technology, logistics, and customer experience, many traditional retailers struggle to keep pace. They're hampered by legacy systems, outdated infrastructure, and a reluctance to fully embrace the digital world. Big Lots' downfall serves as a cautionary tale for the entire retail industry. It's a reminder that no company, no matter how big or established, is immune to the forces reshaping the market. The question isn't if more retailers will fall, but when. And the answer, for many, may be sooner than they think. Section 1. The weight of debt. A crushing burden. Behind the bright lights and bargain bins, Big Lots harbored a hidden vulnerability, a mountain of debt. Years of borrowing to fund operations, expansion, and stock buybacks had left the company financially vulnerable, like a house of cards teetering in the wind. This debt load, manageable in good times, became an albatross around the company's neck as the retail landscape shifted. The once reliable stream of revenue, fueled by steady consumer spending, slowed to a trickle. Big Lots found itself struggling to service its debt, its financial flexibility severely constrained. Financial analysts, those keepers of the balance sheet, sounded the alarm. Big Lots' debt-to-equity ratio, a key measure of financial health, had reached unsustainable levels. The company was highly leveraged, meaning it had borrowed heavily to finance its assets. This made it particularly vulnerable to economic downturns and shifts in consumer behavior. The weight of this debt limited Big Lots' ability to invest in its future. Funds that could have been used for innovation, store upgrades, or e-commerce expansion were instead diverted to debt payments. The company was caught in a vicious cycle, its financial woes compounding its strategic challenges. Section 2. A flawed strategy. The limits of discounting. Big Lots' core business model, once its strength, became its Achilles heel in the evolving retail landscape. The company's reliance on closeouts, overstocks, and surplus merchandise, while offering value to consumers, left it vulnerable to competition from both ends of the market. On one side, discount giants like Walmart and Target, with their massive scale and sophisticated supply chains, could undercut Big Lots on price. These retail behemoths offered a wider selection of goods, often at lower prices, making it difficult for Big Lots to compete solely on value. On the other side, specialty retailers and online merchants offered a curated shopping experience, catering to specific consumer tastes and preferences. These competitors understood the importance of brand loyalty, customer service, and a seamless online-to-offline experience, areas where Big Lots struggled to keep pace. The rise of fast fashion and the increasing demand for unique, on-trend merchandise further eroded Big Lots' appeal. Consumers, bombarded with choices, were less willing to settle for the hit-or-miss nature of discount shopping. They sought out specific items, often influenced by social media trends, rather than browsing for bargains. Section 3. The rise of e-commerce. A digital disruption. The rise of e-commerce, a seismic shift in consumer behavior, proved to be a formidable challenge for Big Lots. While online shopping offered convenience and an ever-expanding selection of goods, Big Lots was slow to adapt, its digital presence lagging behind its competitors. The company's website, initially an afterthought, lacked the user-friendliness and functionality of its online rivals. Navigation was clunky, product information was often incomplete, and the checkout process was cumbersome. Consumers, accustomed to the seamless experience of Amazon and other e-commerce giants, were left frustrated and dissatisfied. Big Lots' online order fulfillment infrastructure was equally inadequate. The company lacked the sophisticated logistics network of its competitors, resulting in slow shipping times and unreliable delivery dates. Returns, a critical aspect of the online shopping experience, were often a hassle, further deterring customers. The company's failure to invest heavily in e-commerce, a strategic miscalculation, proved costly. While its competitors were building robust online platforms, expanding their logistics networks, and embracing the power of data analytics, Big Lots remained largely on the sidelines, its digital presence a pale shadow of its brick-and-mortar footprint. Section 4. A failure to adapt. Stuck in the past. Big Lots' struggles went beyond financial woes and strategic missteps. They spoke to a deeper issue, a failure to adapt to the changing retail landscape. The company, once a pioneer in the discount space, seemed stuck in the past, clinging to a business model that was increasingly out of touch with the modern consumer. While its competitors embraced innovation, experimenting with new store formats, personalized marketing, and omni-channel strategies, Big Lots largely remained static. The company's attempts at change, often piecemeal and reactive, lacked the urgency and vision needed to truly transform the business. Big Lots failed to recognize that retail was no longer just about price. Consumers, particularly younger generations, were seeking experiences, not just transactions. They craved personalization, convenience, and a sense of connection with the brands they patronized. Big Lots, with its no-frills approach and lack of a cohesive brand identity, struggled to resonate with these evolving consumer desires. The company's corporate culture, often described as risk-averse and resistant to change, hindered its ability to adapt. Decision-making was slow, innovation was stifled, and there was a palpable lack of urgency to embrace the digital transformation sweeping through the retail industry. The domino effect. Who's next to fall? Big Lots bankruptcy sends a shiver down the spines of retailers nationwide. It's a stark reminder that even seemingly stable businesses can crumble under the weight of a changing market. The question now isn't more companies will fall, but will be the next domino to topple. The retail landscape is a battleground. E-commerce giants, nimble startups, and evolving consumer expectations have reshaped the rules of the game. Companies clinging to outdated models, burdened by debt, or slow to adapt are teetering on the edge. Boardrooms are buzzing with anxiety. CEOs are losing sleep. The specter of Big Lots' demise hangs heavy in the air. Every dip in sales, every missed earnings target, every competitor's innovation amplifies the fear. The writing is on the wall: adapt or perish. But amidst the uncertainty, there's a scramble for answers. Who is most vulnerable? What are the telltale signs of impending doom? And most importantly, what can be done to avoid a similar fate? The search for answers begins with understanding the fault lines, the cracks in the retail facade that threaten to widen into chasms. Retail's fault lines. Mapping the danger zones. The retail sector isn't a monolith. It's a tapestry of diverse businesses, each with its own strengths, weaknesses, and vulnerabilities. To predict the next Big Lots, we need to map the fault lines, identifying the sectors most susceptible to disruption and decline. Department stores, once the crown jewels of retail, are facing an identity crisis. Saddled with sprawling real estate, bloated inventories, and a fading aura of prestige, they struggle to attract younger shoppers seeking curated experiences and online convenience. The fast fashion frenzy, fueled by trend chasing and disposable income, is showing signs of fatigue. Consumers are increasingly conscious of the ethical and environmental costs of their clothing choices, leading them to seek out sustainable alternatives and timeless styles. Malls, once bustling centers of commerce and community, are grappling with an existential crisis. Anchor stores are shuttering, foot traffic is dwindling, and the allure of online shopping looms large. The mall of the future, if it exists, will need to offer more than just a collection of stores. It must become a destination, a hub for entertainment, dining, and experiences that can't be replicated online. Department stores in decline, an industry adrift. Department stores, once symbols of aspiration and abundance, are now cautionary tales of an industry struggling to stay afloat. Names like Sears, JCPenney, and Neiman Marcus, once synonymous with quality and customer service, have faced store closures, mass layoffs, and even bankruptcy. The decline is multifaceted. The rise of e-commerce has chipped away at their customer base, offering greater convenience and a wider selection. Fast fashion retailers lure shoppers with trendy, affordable apparel, while specialty stores cater to niche interests with greater expertise. Many department stores are burdened by massive real estate holdings, often in declining malls, leading to high overhead costs and dwindling foot traffic. Their traditional model of relying on large inventories and seasonal sales has become inefficient in the age of fast-changing trends and online price comparisons. The future of department stores hinges on their ability to reinvent themselves. This requires embracing omni-channel strategies, offering a seamless blend of online and offline experiences. It means curating unique product assortments, focusing on private labels and exclusive collaborations to differentiate themselves from the competition. The fast fashion phenomenon, with its rapid-fire trend cycles and disposable clothing, is facing a reckoning. While the allure of cheap, trendy apparel remains, cracks are appearing in the facade. Consumers, particularly younger generations, are increasingly aware of the industry's social and environmental costs. Documentaries and news reports have exposed the exploitative labor practices and the devastating environmental impact of fast fashion's relentless pursuit of profit. Consumers are starting to question the true cost of their clothing choices, opting for sustainable alternatives and timeless styles over fleeting trends. This shift in consumer sentiment poses a significant challenge for fast fashion giants. Their business model relies on high volumes, low prices, and a constant churn of new styles. As consumers become more discerning and demand greater transparency, fast fashion brands must adapt or risk losing market share. The future of fast fashion hinges on its ability to address its ethical and environmental shortcomings. This means investing in sustainable materials, improving labor practices, and embracing a slower, more mindful approach to fashion. It also means finding innovative ways to engage consumers beyond fleeting trends, building brand loyalty based on shared values and a commitment to responsible production. The American Mall, once a symbol of suburban prosperity and a weekend pilgrimage for families across the country, is facing an uncertain future. The echoes of laughter and the clatter of shopping carts have been replaced by the silence of shuttered stores and the eerie emptiness of deserted food courts. The decline of malls is a perfect storm of converging forces. The rise of e-commerce has fundamentally changed shopping habits, offering unparalleled convenience and a vast selection of goods at the click of a button. Consumers, no longer limited by geography or store hours, can find exactly what they need, often at lower prices, without ever leaving their homes. The struggles of anchor stores, those retail giants that once drew crowds and defined a mall's identity, have further accelerated the decline. As department stores and big-box retailers grapple with their own challenges, their closures create a domino effect, leaving malls with gaping vacancies and dwindling foot traffic. The mall of the future, if it hopes to survive, must adapt to the changing retail landscape. This means becoming more than just a collection of stores. It requires transforming into a destination, a community hub that offers a mix of shopping, dining, entertainment, and experiences that can't be replicated online. In the bustling world of retail, sales are the lifeblood. A steady flow signifies a healthy business, while a decline can be the first tremor of an impending earthquake. For companies teetering on the brink, like a canary in a coal mine, declining sales are often the earliest warning sign. Imagine stepping into a once thriving store, now eerily quiet. The aisles that once bustled with eager shoppers are now sparsely populated. The checkout lines, once a testament to consumer demand, are practically non-existent. This is the stark reality faced by businesses grappling with declining sales. The reasons behind shrinking sales figures can be multifaceted, ranging from increased competition and changing consumer preferences to broader economic downturns. However, regardless of the cause, the impact is undeniable. Declining sales erode profits, strain cash flow, and cast a long shadow of doubt over a company's future prospects. For investors, analysts, and industry observers, a consistent pattern of declining sales is a blaring alarm bell. It suggests that a company is losing ground to its competitors, failing to adapt to evolving market dynamics, or facing a fundamental erosion of its customer base. Ignoring this warning sign can have dire consequences. Section 2. Shrinking margins. The profit pinch. In the high-stakes game of retail, profit margins are the name of the game. The difference between the cost of goods sold and the price they are sold for represents the lifeblood of any retail operation. When those margins start to shrink, it can signal a company in distress. Picture this: a retailer, facing mounting pressure from competitors and rising input costs, is forced to lower prices to stay competitive. At the same time, their cost of goods sold, driven by factors like inflation and supply chain disruptions, continues to climb. The result? A relentless squeeze on profit margins. This profit pinch can be insidious, slowly eroding a company's financial health over time. As margins shrink, so too does the cushion retailers have to weather unexpected storms, such as economic downturns or shifts in consumer behavior. They are left with less money to invest in innovation, improve their operations, or reward their employees. Shrinking margins are a clear indication that a company is facing significant challenges. It suggests that their business model is under pressure, their pricing power is waning, or their cost control measures are failing. For those paying attention, shrinking margins are a red flag that cannot be ignored. Section 3. Mounting debt. A red flag. Fluttering. In the world of finance, debt is often a necessary evil, a tool used to fund growth, expansion, and even day-to-day operations. However, like any tool, debt can be misused, leading to a dangerous accumulation of liabilities that can threaten a company's very existence. Imagine a company eager to expand its operations or acquire a competitor taking on a significant amount of debt. Initially, this influx of capital fuels growth and optimism. However, as the debt burden grows, so too does the pressure to generate enough revenue to cover the interest payments and eventually repay the principal. When a company's debt load becomes unsustainable, it's like a heavy weight dragging it down, hindering its ability to invest, innovate, and compete. The interest payments alone can consume a significant portion of its cash flow, leaving little room for error or unforeseen circumstances. For investors and analysts, a company's debt levels are a key indicator of its financial health. A high debt-to-equity ratio, for instance, suggests that a company is relying heavily on borrowed funds to finance its operations, which can be a red flag for potential trouble ahead. Section 4. Inventory imbalances, a delicate balancing act gone wrong. In the fast-paced world of retail, managing inventory is a delicate balancing act. Too little inventory can lead to missed sales opportunities and frustrated customers, while too much can tie up valuable capital and increase the risk of obsolescence. When a company's inventory levels become significantly imbalanced, it can be a sign of deeper problems. Imagine a retailer anticipating strong holiday sales, stocking up on a wide variety of merchandise. However, as the holiday season progresses, sales fall short of expectations, leaving the company with a mountain of unsold inventory. This overstock can create a cascade of challenges. First, the unsold inventory ties up valuable capital that could be used for other purposes, such as investing in new products, improving the customer experience, or simply paying down debt. Second, the company may be forced to resort to deep discounts or clearance sales to unload the excess inventory, which erodes profit margins and can damage brand perception. For those analyzing a company's financial health, inventory levels are a key metric to watch. A rapid increase in inventory turnover days, for instance, can indicate that a company is struggling to sell its products, which could be a sign of waning demand, poor inventory management, or both. Section 5. Cash flow constriction, the lifeblood running dry. In the intricate ecosystem of business, cash flow is the lifeblood, the vital current that keeps operations running smoothly. It's the money flowing in and out of a company, representing its ability to meet financial obligations, invest in growth opportunities, and weather unexpected storms. Imagine a company facing a confluence of challenges such as declining sales, shrinking margins, and mounting debt. As revenues dwindle and expenses remain high, the company's cash reserves begin to dwindle. This cash flow constriction can create a domino effect of negative consequences. Without adequate cash flow, a company may struggle to pay its suppliers, meet payroll obligations, or invest in essential resources. This can damage relationships with key stakeholders, erode employee morale, and hinder the company's ability to compete effectively. For investors and creditors, cash flow is a crucial indicator of a company's financial health. A consistent pattern of negative cash flow, for instance, suggests that a company is spending more money than it's bringing in, which is unsustainable in the long run and could be a sign of deeper financial troubles. Section 6. Delayed payments, a chain reaction of trouble. In the interconnected web of commerce, timely payments are the glue that holds everything together. When a company starts to delay payments to its suppliers, it can send shockwaves through the supply chain, signaling a potential cash flow crisis and eroding trust among business partners. Imagine a manufacturer relying on a steady stream of payments from its customers to cover its own operating expenses, suddenly facing a delay in receiving those payments. This unexpected disruption can create a ripple effect, forcing the manufacturer to delay payments to its own suppliers, who in turn may have to delay payments to their suppliers, and so on. Delayed payments can damage a company's reputation, strain relationships with key suppliers, and even lead to legal action. Suppliers, concerned about their own financial stability, may be hesitant to extend credit, or may demand stricter payment terms, further exacerbating the company's cash flow challenges. For those analyzing a company's financial health, delayed payments are a red flag that should not be ignored. An increasing number of days sales outstanding, for instance, suggests that a company is taking longer to collect payments from its customers, which could be a sign of declining sales. difficulty collecting receivables, or a combination of factors. Section 7. Asset sales, a desperate scramble for survival. In the business world, asset sales can be a strategic move, a way to divest underperforming divisions, streamline operations, or free up capital for new investments. Companies often use this strategy to refocus their core business, shedding parts that no longer align with their long-term goals. This can be a proactive approach to ensure the company remains competitive and agile in a rapidly changing market. However, when a company starts selling off core assets, especially at fire sale prices, it can be a desperate scramble for survival, a sign that the ship is taking on water and drastic measures are needed to stay afloat. This is often a last resort, indicating that the company is facing severe financial distress and is struggling to maintain its operations. Imagine a company facing mounting debt, declining sales, and a dwindling cash reserve. The pressure from creditors and the market can be overwhelming, forcing the company to take drastic actions. The management team is often left with no choice but to liquidate assets to generate immediate cash flow. In a last-ditch effort to generate much-needed liquidity, the company begins selling off valuable assets, such as real estate, equipment, and intellectual property. These assets, once considered integral to the company's operations, are now seen as lifelines to keep the business afloat, or even entire business units. This can include profitable divisions that, under normal circumstances, would be retained to support the company's growth. The sale of these units can provide a significant cash injection, but at the cost of future revenue streams. While these sales may provide a temporary cash infusion, they can also weaken the company's long-term prospects. The immediate relief is often overshadowed by the long-term consequences, as the company loses critical assets that are essential for its future growth and stability. Selling off core assets can signal to investors and creditors that a company is in dire straits. This can lead to a loss of confidence, further exacerbating the company's financial woes. Investors may start to pull out, and creditors may tighten their terms, making it even harder for the company to secure the necessary funding. It suggests that management is no longer confident in its ability to turn the business around through operational improvements or strategic initiatives. This loss of confidence can be detrimental, as it undermines the company's ability to attract new investment and support from stakeholders. Moreover, asset sales can leave a company with a weaker balance sheet, making it more difficult to secure financing in the future should the need arise. A depleted asset base can limit the company's borrowing capacity, leaving it vulnerable to future financial challenges. For those analyzing a company's financial health, asset sales should be carefully scrutinized. It's important to understand the context and reasons behind these sales. Are they part of a strategic realignment, or are they a desperate measure to stave off insolvency? If asset sales are being used to fund operating losses or repay debt, rather than to reinvest in growth opportunities, it could be a sign that the company is on shaky ground. This is a red flag for investors and analysts, indicating that the company's long-term viability is at risk. In such cases, it's crucial to assess the company's overall strategy and management's ability to navigate through the crisis. Section 8. Executive exodus rats fleeing a sinking ship. In the corporate world, executive departures are not uncommon. It's a natural part of the business life cycle, where leaders come and go, bringing fresh perspectives and new strategies. CEOs and other top executives may move on for a variety of reasons, such as pursuing new opportunities, retiring, or seeking a change of pace. Sometimes they leave to start their own ventures, driven by entrepreneurial spirit and the desire to build something from the ground up. However, when a company experiences a wave of high-level departures in a short period, it can be a red flag, signaling deeper problems within the organization. This pattern often indicates underlying issues that may not be immediately visible to the public or even to lower-level employees. Imagine a company grappling with declining profits, missed earnings targets, and a plummeting stock price. The financial instability can create a sense of urgency and panic among the leadership team. As the pressure mounts and the future looks increasingly uncertain, Top executives, privy to inside information and sensing the ship is sinking, may start jumping ship, seeking safer harbors for their careers and reputations. They might be aware of strategic missteps, operational inefficiencies, or even potential scandals that could further damage the company's standing. This exodus of leadership can create a void at the top, leaving the company rudderless at a time when strong and decisive leadership is needed most. The absence of experienced leaders can hinder decision-making processes, slow down critical projects, and create confusion about the company's direction. Moreover, it can erode employee morale, as those remaining wonder about the reasons behind the departures and worry about their own job security. The uncertainty can lead to decreased productivity, increased turnover, and a toxic work environment where rumors and speculation run rampant. For investors and analysts, a string of executive departures, especially if they involve key positions such as the CEO, CFO, or COO, should raise serious concerns. It suggests that those closest to the business have lost confidence in its future prospects and are unwilling to stick around to try to turn things around. This loss of confidence can be contagious, spreading to shareholders and the market at large. It suggests that those closest to the business have lost confidence in its future prospects and are unwilling to stick around to try to turn things around. The ripple effects of such departures can be far-reaching, affecting not just the company's stock price, but also its relationships with clients, partners, and suppliers. In the end, a mass exodus of executives can be both a symptom and a cause of a company's decline, a clear signal that all is not well within the organization. Section 9. Negative news cycle. When bad press becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. In today's hyper-connected world, news travels at the speed of light, shaping public perception and influencing investor sentiment. For companies facing challenges, a negative news cycle can be a vicious spiral, amplifying existing problems and potentially turning a difficult situation into a full-blown crisis. Imagine a company, already grappling with declining sales and a shrinking market share, suddenly finding itself at the center of a negative news story. Perhaps there's been a product recall, an environmental disaster, or allegations of unethical business practices. Regardless of the specific issue, the negative publicity can have a snowball effect. Consumers, bombarded with negative headlines and social media posts, may lose trust in the company and its products, leading to further sales declines. Investors, spooked by the bad press and fearing further losses, may start selling off their shares, driving down the company's stock price and making it more difficult to raise capital. This negative feedback loop can be incredibly difficult to break. Companies caught in a negative news cycle must act swiftly and decisively to address the underlying issues, communicate transparently with stakeholders, and rebuild trust with their customers and the public. Section 10. Ignoring the signs, a recipe for disaster. In the unforgiving world of business, ignoring warning signs is akin to sailing towards a storm with your eyes wide shut. While it's tempting to dismiss early indicators of trouble as temporary setbacks or anomalies, burying your head in the sand can lead to disastrous consequences. Imagine a company facing a confluence of challenges such as declining sales, shrinking margins, and mounting debt. Instead of acknowledging the seriousness of the situation and taking corrective action, management chooses to downplay the problems, reassuring investors and employees that everything is under control. This denial can be fueled by a variety of factors, such as fear of appearing weak, a reluctance to admit mistakes, or a misplaced belief that the situation will magically resolve itself. However, ignoring the warning signs only allows the problems to fester and grow, making it increasingly difficult to turn the ship around. By the time the company finally acknowledges the severity of the situation, it may be too late. Valuable time and resources will have been wasted, and the company may be forced to take desperate measures, such as mass layoffs, asset sales, or even bankruptcy, to try to salvage what's left. Section 1. Charting a new course. Strategies for survival. The retail landscape is littered with the wreckage of companies that failed to adapt. But amidst the ruins, a new breed of retailer is emerging, one that understands the rules of the game have changed and is charting a new course for survival. These retail warriors are embracing innovation, agility, and a deep understanding of the modern consumer. The strategies for survival are as diverse as the retail industry itself. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, but there are common threads that weave through the success stories. It starts with a willingness to challenge the status quo, to question long-held assumptions, and to embrace change as an opportunity, not a threat. For some retailers, survival means embracing the digital transformation, investing heavily in e-commerce platforms, mobile apps, and omni-channel strategies. It means leveraging data analytics to understand customer behavior, personalize marketing efforts, and optimize pricing and inventory management. For others, it means reimagining the in-store experience, transforming brick-and-mortar locations from transactional spaces into destinations that offer a unique blend of shopping, entertainment, and community engagement. It means investing in employee training, empowering staff to provide exceptional customer service and create memorable experiences. Section 2. Embracing the digital transformation, no longer optional. The digital revolution has fundamentally reshaped the retail landscape, and there's no turning back. E-commerce is no longer a niche channel for early adopters. It's an integral part of the modern shopping experience. Retailers that ignore this reality do so at their own peril. Embracing the digital transformation means more than just launching an e-commerce website. It requires a holistic approach that integrates online and offline channels, creating a seamless and consistent customer experience, regardless of how or where a customer chooses to shop. This omni-channel approach allows retailers to meet customers where they are, offering the convenience of online shopping with the personalized touch of in-store interactions. Customers can browse products online, check in-store availability, order items for home delivery, or pick them up at a nearby store, all through a single, unified platform. But embracing the digital transformation goes beyond customer-facing initiatives. It also means leveraging technology to improve internal operations, from supply chain management and inventory control to marketing automation and customer relationship management. Section 3. The power of data. Understanding the modern consumer. In the age of information overload, data is king. And for retailers, understanding the vast amount of data generated through customer interactions, both online and offline, is crucial for survival. Data analytics can unlock a treasure trove of insights into consumer behavior, enabling retailers to personalize marketing efforts, optimize pricing and promotions, and even predict future trends. Gone are the days of mass marketing campaigns that treat all customers the same. Today's consumers expect personalized experiences, tailored to their individual preferences and shopping habits. Data analytics allows retailers to segment customers based on demographics, purchase history, browsing behavior, and other factors, enabling them to deliver targeted messages and offers that resonate. Data can also help retailers optimize their pricing strategies. By analyzing historical sales data, competitor pricing, and even external factors like weather patterns and social media trends, retailers can dynamically adjust prices to maximize profitability while remaining competitive. Furthermore, data analytics can play a crucial role in inventory management, helping retailers avoid costly overstocks and stockouts. By analyzing sales trends, seasonality, and even local events, retailers can forecast demand with greater accuracy, ensuring they have the right products in the right quantities at the right time. Section 4. Customer centricity. Putting the shopper first. In the relentless battle for customer loyalty, one principle reigns supreme: customer centricity. It's no longer enough to simply offer a wide selection of products at competitive prices. Today's consumers expect more. They demand personalized experiences, exceptional customer service, and a sense of connection with the brands they choose. Putting the customer at the heart of every decision means understanding their needs, their wants, and their pain points. It means listening to their feedback, both positive and negative, and using that feedback to continuously improve the shopping experience. Customer centricity manifests itself in every aspect of the retail operation, from the design of the store layout and the user-friendliness of the website, to the helpfulness of the staff and the ease of the returns process. It means empowering employees to go the extra mile to resolve customer issues, exceeding expectations whenever possible. It means creating a culture of customer obsession, where every employee, from the CEO to the sales associate, understands that the customer is king. Section 5. Operational efficiency, streamlining for success. In the fast-paced and fiercely competitive world of retail, operational efficiency can be the difference between thriving and merely surviving. Every dollar saved through streamlined processes, optimized logistics, and minimized waste represents a dollar that can be reinvested in growth initiatives, customer-centric improvements, or simply bolstering the bottom line. Operational efficiency starts with a thorough assessment of every aspect of the business, from the supply chain to the store floor. It means identifying bottlenecks, eliminating redundancies, and implementing technologies and processes that improve productivity and reduce costs. In the digital age, technology plays a crucial role in optimizing operations. Automated warehouses, inventory management systems, and data-driven demand forecasting can significantly reduce waste, minimize stockouts, and improve fulfillment times. Operational efficiency also extends to the customer experience. Seamless online ordering processes, convenient delivery and pickup options, and hassle-free returns can all contribute to a more positive customer experience while reducing costs and improving efficiency. Section 1. The Retail Reckoning, a transformative era. The collapse of Big Lots, once a stalwart of the discount retail sector, serves as a stark reminder that we are living through a retail reckoning. The old rules no longer apply. The ground beneath the industry is shifting, and only those willing to adapt, innovate, and embrace the changing dynamics of the market will survive. This isn't just another chapter in the cyclical nature of business. It's a fundamental transformation driven by technological advancements, evolving consumer expectations, and a global marketplace that's more interconnected and competitive than ever before. The retail landscape is being redrawn, and the stakes have never been higher. The demise of Big Lots, while undoubtedly a tragedy for its employees, investors, and the communities it served, offers valuable lessons for the entire retail industry. It underscores the need for agility, the importance of understanding the modern consumer, and the imperative of embracing digital transformation not as an afterthought, but as a core business strategy. This is not a time for complacency or nostalgia for a bygone era of retail. It's a time for bold action, for challenging conventional wisdom, and for reimagining what it means to connect with consumers in a world increasingly driven by technology and fueled by experiences. Section 2. The writing was on the wall. Lessons learned. Big Lots' downfall, while painful, was not entirely unpredictable. The writing was on the wall for those who knew how to read it. The company's struggles offer a cautionary tale, a reminder that even established players with a long history of success can succumb to the changing tides of the market if they fail to heed the warning signs and adapt accordingly. One of the most glaring takeaways from Big Lots' demise is the danger of clinging to outdated business models. The company's reliance on a discount-driven, brick-and-mortar approach, while successful in the past, proved unsustainable in the face of e-commerce giants like Amazon and the evolving expectations of today's digitally savvy consumers. Another crucial lesson is the importance of understanding and responding to changing consumer behavior. Big Lots failed to keep pace with the shift towards online shopping, the demand for personalized experiences, and the growing desire for convenience and immediacy in every aspect of the shopping journey. The company's struggles also highlight the perils of ignoring the warning signs of financial distress. Mounting debt, shrinking margins, and declining sales were all red flags that something was amiss, yet the company seemed slow to react, perhaps hoping that a turnaround was just around the corner. Section 3. A new retail landscape. Adaptation is key. The retail landscape of the future will be defined by those who can adapt, innovate, and create meaningful connections with consumers in an increasingly digital and experience-driven world. This means understanding the evolving needs and preferences of customers and being agile enough to pivot strategies as those needs change. Retailers must stay ahead of technological advancements and leverage them to enhance the shopping experience. The old playbook is being rewritten, and the winners will be those who embrace change, challenge convention, and put the customer at the heart of every decision. This involves fostering a culture of innovation within the organization, encouraging employees to think creatively and take calculated risks. It also means continuously gathering and analyzing customer feedback to make informed decisions that enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty. One of the most significant shifts we're witnessing is the blurring of lines between online and offline channels. This convergence is driven by the need for convenience and the desire for a cohesive shopping experience. Retailers are integrating digital technologies into physical stores, such as interactive kiosks and augmented reality, to bridge the gap between the two worlds. Consumers no longer view these as separate entities, but as interconnected parts of a seamless shopping experience. They expect to start their shopping journey on one platform and continue it on another without any friction. This requires retailers to ensure that their systems are interconnected and that customer data flows seamlessly across all channels. Retailers must embrace omni-channel strategies, creating a unified brand presence across all touchpoints, from mobile apps and social media to physical stores and customer service interactions. This means providing consistent messaging, promotions, and customer service across all channels. It also involves using data to personalize the shopping experience and make it more relevant to each individual customer. Another key trend is the rise of personalization. In a world where consumers are bombarded with choices, they crave experiences tailored to their individual preferences. Personalization can take many forms, from product recommendations based on past purchases to personalized marketing messages and offers. Consumers are bombarded with choices, and they crave experiences tailored to their individual preferences. Retailers who can leverage data analytics to understand their customers' needs, anticipate their desires, and deliver personalized recommendations and offers will have a significant competitive advantage. This involves collecting and analyzing data from various sources, such as purchase history, browsing behavior, and social media interactions, to gain insights into customer preferences and behavior. Retailers who can leverage data analytics to understand their customers' needs, anticipate their desires, and deliver personalized recommendations and offers will have a significant competitive advantage. This requires investing in advanced analytics tools and technologies, as well as building a team of skilled data analysts who can interpret the data and turn it into actionable insights. The future of retail also belongs to those who can create compelling in-store experiences. This means transforming physical stores into destinations that offer more than just products. Retailers can create immersive environments that engage all the senses, such as interactive displays, virtual reality experiences, and live events. While e-commerce continues to grow, physical stores remain relevant, but they must evolve beyond transactional spaces into destinations that offer entertainment, community engagement, and a sense of discovery that can't be replicated online. This involves rethinking store layouts, incorporating elements of surprise and delight, and creating spaces where customers can connect with the brand and each other in meaningful ways. Section 4. The stakes have never been higher. The future of American business. The challenges facing the retail industry are not unique to this sector. They reflect a broader trend sweeping across the American business landscape. Globalization, technological advancements, and shifting consumer expectations are disrupting industries from manufacturing and healthcare to finance and education. The stakes have never been higher. Companies that fail to adapt risk becoming relics of a bygone era. Their names added to the growing list of once mighty corporations that couldn't keep pace with the changing times. The future belongs to those who embrace innovation, agility, and a relentless focus on creating value for their customers. This requires a fundamental shift in mindset. Companies must move beyond short-term thinking and quarterly earnings reports and embrace a long-term vision that prioritizes sustainability, customer centricity, and a willingness to experiment and take calculated risks. The good news is that American businesses have always been known for their ingenuity, their entrepreneurial spirit, and their ability to adapt and thrive in the face of adversity. The challenges are real, but so too are the opportunities for those who are willing to embrace the future with courage, creativity, and a commitment to excellence. Section 5. The informed consumer. Navigating the shifting sands. In this era of rapid change and constant disruption, consumers wield more power than ever before. Armed with smartphones, social media, and access to a wealth of information, today's consumers are informed, discerning, and increasingly vocal about their expectations. They demand transparency, value, and experiences that align with their values. They are quick to embrace brands that resonate with their lifestyles, and equally quick to abandon those that fail to meet their expectations. This new breed of informed consumer presents both challenges and opportunities for businesses. On the one hand, it requires companies to be more transparent in their operations, more responsive to customer feedback, and more agile in adapting to changing consumer preferences. On the other hand, it creates opportunities for brands that prioritize authenticity, customer centricity, and a commitment to social responsibility. Consumers are increasingly willing to reward companies that share their values and support businesses that are making a positive impact on the world. Section 6. A final word: embracing the future of retail. The retail landscape may be undergoing a period of profound transformation, but one thing remains constant: the human desire to connect, to discover, and to express ourselves through the products we buy and the experiences we share. The future of retail belongs to those who understand this fundamental truth. It belongs to the dreamers, the innovators, and the storytellers who can create brands that resonate with our aspirations, our values, and our desire for connection. It will be a future where technology enhances, rather than replaces, the human touch. A future where physical stores transform into community hubs, offering a curated mix of products, experiences, and human connection that can't be replicated online. The retail reckoning is upon us, but it's not a time for despair. It's a time for reinvention, for embracing the possibilities of the digital age, and for rediscovering the joy of connecting with customers in meaningful and memorable ways. The future of retail is unwritten, and the most exciting chapters are yet to be told.